Donald Trump today firing back at the mainstream liberal media, making it very clear he's not flip-flopping when it comes to illegal immigration.
We have to be very firm. We have to be very, very strong when people come in illegally. We have a lot of people that want to come in through the legal process. It's not fair for them. And we're working with a lot of people in the Hispanic community to try and come up with an answer. No, I'm not flip-flopping. We want to come up with a really fair but firm answer. It has to be very firm.
And joining me now, the first woman to ever run a Republican presidential campaign, Trump Campaign Manager Kellyanne Conway. Great to have you with us.
Thank you, Lou.
You're off to a roaring start. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And yesterday with George Stephanopoulos creating some dust up when you talked about a deportation force to be determined. Is there any change?
No, there's no change. If you read Donald Trump's speech at his convention just last month, and you hear what transpired in this meeting on Saturday, which I attended, then you see no change. In fact, what Donald Trump told your colleagues at Fox and Friends this morning is consistent, meaning he is still trying to figure out a system that's fair to everyone. You know, Lou, for too often the politicians in Washington have asked, what's fair to the illegal immigrants? Should we give them health care and Social Security and Medicare and jobs and schooling and housing? The question is, what is fair to everyone involved? What's fair to those American workers who are struggling to get the jobs that maybe are being taken by others? What's fair? What should we be asking business to do? Just sign up for E-Verify and wash their hands clean of it? Don't they have more responsibility? What's fair to our local economy? So the question about fairness should extend all the way around the equation. But let me tell you unequivocally, as somebody who works for him, talks to him every day, sat in that round table that's being reported on as the source of this, nothing changed.
Not the wall. Not the deportation of 11.5 million people. Because those are two things that every American has heard.
Right, but he talked about a deportation force back in November. And then in his, if you read his speech, what he's talking about
I'm not going to. I'm asking you. Is there a change in those two elements?
He says every day, build the wall and have Mexico pay for it, and he gets rounds of applause almost wherever he goes. So what he said on Fox and Friends today, I think, is the most accurate, which is we need to find a way to fairly and effectively address the issue that, by most estimates, we'll call it 11 million illegal immigrants live among us. He wants to find a fair and humane way to do that, but remember, there's an estimate that many of them would be deported immediately because they have convicted a crime. Some people estimate 500,000 to 1 million. And then the others, I think he's just trying to figure out how it's squared.
Because as you know, I'm a straightforward guy.
Yes.
I've heard you say the wall stays, and the Vicente Fox, much to his displeasure, is going to be paying for part of it. I don't think there's going to be a lot of pleasure in hearing you equivocate on 11.5 million people being deported. Personally, I've never called for the deportation of a single illegal immigrant, and I've been working on this issue, and when I say working on it, reporting it, covering it, writing about it, for more than a decade. Is he open to a different approach than what he's espoused on the campaign trail? I
think he's open to hearing from people who are experts in the field, and we've been doing that all along, but he also did that on Saturday, and I can tell you, having sat there through the meeting, he was very impressed with the multitude of counselors there. And I want to make very clear about that meeting also. Everybody's reporting on the immigration piece. It was such a great meeting about school choice and charters, about home ownership.
But I'm not interested in that, frankly, as the host of this broadcast. You've cited Fox and Friends 3 times. I know what interests their audience, but that isn't what interests mine. Mine are focused on reality, truth, and the veracity of the comments by any candidate on the campaign trail. And if there is a change, an honest statement about a reformulation that might be going on. That's all.
And when I say to be determined, that's exactly what I mean, which is he will be announcing an entire immigration plan, and people can compare it to Hillary Clinton's plan, and I think they'll be very pleased to see it. Go ahead.
But I look forward to that. And Thursday he was to have given a speech in Denver on immigration. That has been delayed, presumably because of the kerfuffle that has arisen over the comments over the weekend.
No, it's been delayed, Lou, for a very simple reason. It's a very complex problem with no simple solution. And he wants
Well,
to
I'm
get
not
it
the
right.
one who originally scheduled
He
it.
wants to get it right. I'm not either, by the way. Just
Okay,
to
we got that
say as
straight.
polite as I can, I wasn't the one who originally scheduled it either. But it's not the kind of thing that you rush through just because it was placed on a schedule a while ago. And so he will come out. I don't even know what Hillary Clinton's doing
Well, I
today.
guarantee
I'd
it
imagine
is.
no
It's
press conference,
the right
no
thing
rally,
to do
no
because
speech.
his supporters don't want him to rush through
Well,
something
that's right.
so important.
There is no rush. And so I think it's actually a little unfair for folks to just jump to a conclusion when he has said many different times from Saturday to today, as have those who speak on his behalf, that nothing changed in terms of him wanting to deal with something that the politicians in Washington, including Hillary Clinton, never want to deal with, which is just looking the other way at the fact that people broke the law to come here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying, because you and Senator Sessions, who advises him on this issue and many other issues, do not call for the deportation of the 11.5 million illegal immigrants. And so I think he's listening to people and understanding the different logistic implications. But the philosophy is the same, which is build a wall, secure the borders, but go farther, because that's sort of the cost of admission. Protect American workers and give, I think, be fair to everyone.
America First sounds like a really good way to
Make America great again.
To find
That's
a polar star in all of
That's
this.
right. Indeed.
Let me ask you, as we look at what is happening here with the Clintons, I mean, first of all, I want to just say to you, to the campaign, to see Donald Trump and Mike Pence down there unloading supplies off that truck, to hear the people talk about how important it was to them, I think was a wonderful statement that the two folks who are leading your campaign, Trump and Pence, are going to be representing all of the people of this country, and it was a wonderful moment. So my
That's a wonderful way of saying it, Lou. And I just wanted to remark that people are constantly giving Donald Trump the advice of be more presidential, show some leadership. This is being presidential. This is showing leadership. And we didn't say, oh, is Louisiana a swing state? How do the polls look? You go where people are in need. And I couldn't imagine that all these Republicans, including the man running for president in 2012, didn't hightail it to New Jersey and New York when people were suffering under Hurricane Sandy.
How long have you been campaign manager now?
About 5 days, I think.
5 days. And I want to tell you, great work, because the polls are already closing.
Thank you. Let's keep an eye on those.
Kellyanne, thanks. Great to see you.